everyone, this is Mike. So last time we talked about how to decrease negative emotions. And remember that your negative emotions are based on your thoughts, at least in part. Right? And if you engage in cognitive distortions like mind reading and fortune telling, if you engage in self-defeating beliefs like perfectionism or people pleasing, if you have a pessimistic way of thinking, bad things are going to last forever and it has to impact every area of your life, that is going to create or exacerbate negative emotions. And to the extent that you can limit or reduce or eliminate these types of negative thoughts, you will decrease or eliminate your negative emotions, your unhealthy negative emotions. We still may have healthy negative emotions. As I said, adversity by definition is not a good thing. But do we want to be concerned or anxious, sad or depressed? Right? So we want the more manageable negative emotion if appropriate. We're human. We're going to have negative emotions. But what if you want to raise your overall happiness level? Right? So there's a happiness baseline, and negative thoughts can bring us below that. And if we challenge them, we can get rid of them and get back to our baseline. But what if our baseline, we want that to be higher? How do we do that? Well, there are some external things, by the way. So for example, research has shown that health doesn't really significantly impact happiness unless you are really unhealthy. Wealth, again, unless you're living in poverty. Even age. What does have an impact is whether you're married and how spiritual or religious you are. Now, people aren't sure whether happier people look for partners and therefore get married, or marriage actually helps people become happier, or spiritual and religious people are just happy to begin with and they feel like looking for a higher purpose is contributing to that, or whether being spiritual and religious makes you happy. The cause and effect is a little shaky there. But just as an example of two outside factors that do seem to increase happiness overall, relationship or marital status and spirituality and religion. But what about beyond that? Can you increase it? Well, you can increase it by doing a couple of things. So first, we have certain needs as human beings. Now, this is similar to Maslow, but it's not on a hierarchy, right? Maslow had the needs, the physical survival, all the way up to being self-actualized. This is similar. This is from Choice Theory by William Glasser. And they're kind of just straight across. There's no hierarchy here. It's the need for survival, safety, security, stability, right? The need for love and belonging, friends, acquaintances, intimate partner, family. The need for power, and by power he means success, accomplishment, achievement, being productive. The need for freedom, meaning that we have some autonomy, some independence, we feel we have choices in our life. The need for fun includes leisure. It also includes learning. Learning used to be a lot of fun until schools kind of got rid of that. Now a lot of kids that are having fun, they hate school, which is really quite sad. And the need for meaning and purpose. I know that Freud talked about a will to pleasure, or a drive for pleasure, and I think Nietzsche and Adler had a will to power, or a drive to power, and Viktor Frankl believes we have as human beings a will or a drive for meaning and purpose in our life. It's not a choice. That's just part of being human. We have this drive and desire for meaning and purpose in our lives. Now, a lot of people don't agree with that. And I'm certainly not here to argue that point. But the idea is, as human beings, there is this innate drive to have some kind of meaning and purpose. And the purpose of life is to do something meaningful with it. So how do we increase happiness? Well, we meet these needs. So you have the need for survival, the need for love and belonging, the need for power, success and productivity and accomplishing things and achieving things. But it's not just the names of categories. There are images. There are ideal images that Glasser calls the quality world. So if you close your eyes and you think about, when I think of love and belonging, what images come to mind? And there are thousands of them. Getting together with friends, sitting on the couch, watching a movie, having dinner, going to someone's home, having a barbecue, taking a vacation. All these images come flying through our mind. And if we had those pictures, then that need would be met and we'd feel satisfied. That's great. It's kind of like during the pandemic when we were quarantined, and I would talk to people and I'd say, "How's your need for love and belonging being met?" And people would say, "Oh, great, yeah, yeah, yeah." I talked to someone on the phone, and we did a little FaceTime, and we were texting, and I said, "Okay, that's good. You're making some connections, but what's the images you have?" "Oh, well, the images where we got together in person and we hung out." And I said, "Right, you're not doing that." So the image is not meeting the reality. Now, we didn't have a choice at that point, right? We were quarantined. But the phone call, that was not the image we had of the ideal love and belonging. So it didn't quite feel as fulfilling. It was something. We were connecting with people, good, but not the way we imagined it. Same thing if you have a job. You imagine a job, oh, I'm respected on the job, and I feel good, and people come to me, and we have collaboration, and I'm being compensated, and I feel respected. Well, if you get to work and that's not, you feel disrespected, you feel micromanaged, you feel isolated. That's not meeting your quality world image of power, of work. Now, you still may be doing your work, you still may be getting a paycheck, you still may feel like you're doing even a good job, but it's not meeting the picture you have of what that would look like ideally. Now, to be fair, the real world and the ideal world, the quality, will never be 100%. But we want to get as close as we can. The closer we get, the happier we are. The further apart, the more distress we have. So we want to have, so in terms of becoming happy, we want the real world to get as close to the quality world as we possibly can. And so we need to do things to make that happen. What are some actions that we're taking? Are we thinking thoughts? If you get up every day and I hate my job, well, is that helping? You go in and you just do the minimal amount of work. Is that happening? Maybe there are things you can do on the job. Talk to your boss. Coming with a different attitude. Maybe you need a different job entirely. But the idea is, if it's not being met, what are you doing? Is what you're doing helping you get to that quality world view, or pushing you further away? And you have to decide that. So that's one area. Another way to happiness is we all have character strengths. Character strengths like loyalty, teamwork, a sense of justice, kindness, fairness, creativity, curiosity about the world, leadership, bravery, social intelligence. These core attributes are so central to who we are as human beings. We wouldn't be who we are without them. If you were to take them away, we wouldn't be us. And so if you have these skills and you're not able to utilize them as often as possible, you are denying and suppressing core aspects of who you are. So let's say one of your attributes, your character strengths, your values is creativity. And in your life, you have few to no opportunities to be creative. You are killing a part of you. You're suppressing. It's like withering on the vine. How could you be happy if a core part of who you are isn't being utilized and operationalized and practiced? So we want to identify what your core character strengths are and then figure out how you can use them in as many areas of life and as often as possible. So that's the second way. So the first way is the needs and the quality world, and then the character strengths. And the third way, which is what I started off with, is finding some meaning and purpose in life. What is something that you can use that is transcendent? It's greater than yourself. Could be family, people's family, their kids. It gives them a meaning and a purpose. Religion and spirituality. Being involved in the community. Being involved in a cause. Even getting in touch with nature and just having that connection with the wider world. It doesn't really matter what it is, but if it's transcendent to you, that is what gives us a kind of happiness and fulfillment. So remember, the distortions and self-defeating beliefs and the pessimistic thinking, that's what brings us down. Once we cut those lines and we get rid of those, okay, we're back at our baseline. But what if we want the baseline to be even higher and happier? That's the needs, the character strengths, and the meaning and purpose in life. I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you the next time.